right, guys. Ooh, that was a terrible intro. Welcome, everybody, to Git Bit Podcast. I'm apparently losing my voice, but that's okay. I'm your host, the most Will Buchanan. Of course, the man to my right. I'm wondering what he's got this week for us. So, what you got this time, Joe?
It's me, Joe.
Really?
They can't all be winners.
I'm perplexed. At the same time, I feel like it's a setup. I feel like this is a setup.
Well, were you expecting F.U. Barry? It's me, Joe Tonello.
Yes. Something along those natures, but yes. But that being said, guys, we are the Git Bit Podcast, the podcast for blurs and nerds and all those with fandoms. So you are definitely welcome here. Before we do get started, we are a family-friendly podcast. At least we try to be. So we sometimes do try to watch a language, but sometimes words do fly. At the same time, guys, there may be things that might be shown. As you can see there, we do have some things that we do want to show tonight that may be a little too intense for younger viewers. So viewer discretion is advised. Aside from that, welcome. So we would be remiss if we don't go into what we almost went into before this podcast went live. If you were watching the Super Bowl, of course, you did see a specific trailer. I actually saw a couple specific trailers. One that was actually just released, the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness trailer, which we're going to go ahead and play again and then discuss what we think is going to come out of it. Observe.
Every night, I dream the same dream. Then, the nightmare begins. I did what I had to do to protect our world. You cannot control everything, Strange. You opened the doorway between universes, and we don't know who or what will walk through it. Wanda, what do you know about the multiverse?
He had his theories. He believed it was dangerous.
He was right. I'm sorry, Stephen. Your desecration of reality will not go unpunished. We should tell him the truth. Things just got out of hand.
You break the rules. Become the hero. I do it. I become the enemy. It doesn't seem fair.
All right. So basically, as you guys can clearly see, a lot has happened in Strange post Spider-Man No Way Home. And of course, as you see right there, May 6th is definitely going to be a nexus point, if you will, of what we're going to see with Strange. So I'm going to let Joe go with this first because he and I had a conversation before we started this podcast. And if you guys didn't notice, I wish I could go back frame by frame and get the specific point. I'm going to try to do that while Joe explains. There's one particular scene that if I could find it, cool. If not, I'm not going to worry about it. But Joe, go ahead and say, who do you think what you saw in the Doctor Strange trailer? But you got to unmute yourself first. Still got to unmute yourself.
The large green minotaur is Rintra. He's a packing character for the Marvel Legacy storyline promoting this movie at the moment.
Not the person I thought you were going to go with, but yeah.
Let me think. What else do we see in this? A whole bunch of America Chavez.
You're right.
Not quite Shuma Gorath.
It's Shuma Gorath.
Oh, it's Shuma Gorath, but they just can't say it.
Legalities, you gotta love them.
It's like The Simpsons, where Mo has to cover his mouth to say the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, that is true.
They can voice out stuff later on because of legal reasons.
No,
No, we're alluding to the fact that I believe it is Superior Iron Man, along with a large majority of people, to the point where even Tom Taylor, the author of Superior Iron Man, goes like, we're not saying it's him, but me and the primary artist, Ildri Sinar, we did make it to where his armor would glow orange and red whenever he got mad. And we did put him in a silver bluish armor. So, I mean, this is coming from the author himself. It's like, so we're not saying he's in the movie, but yeah. Now, a lot of us have speculated a multiversal Iron Man, and this is pretty much him. The Ultron bots are a dead giveaway. This is, how do I put this? This is, some of us will have to remember this.
right.
Back in the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, the Iron Spider-Man, the Mark I Iron Man Spider-Man costume, the big one with big silver armor. That's
Yeah.
the life he lived if everything went right. Superior Iron Man, this is a multiversal Iron Man where everything went right for Tony. Didn't drink, got married to Pepper, solved all the problems, made himself superior.
See, as you're talking, I've got it pulled up to where I try to get it to where it literally, it's not a good shot. I admit, I can't really.
I believe there's a better, closer shot over on the TV spot. The one that also shows Zombie Strange.
Yeah, but that's fine. I just want to show this because this is the argument that we had. The argument that we had on this was that I still say, from the side from Doctor Strange trailer, I agree with Joe on a lot of things. Although I still think that the person was not Superior Iron Man. I think it was Photon, which means to me there's going to be a Captain Marvel appearance somewhere.
I don't think so, because they're too busy filming Ms. Marvel in different states.
True, but Multiverse of Madness is already filmed. So, I mean, I just can't think, because everybody's clamoring for Iron Man to come back. And we do know that Robert Downey Jr. is tied into some deal right along with Chris Evans reprising his role as Captain America, just not on screen.
Yeah, so the Robert Downey Jr. thing, I believe he's going to be AI Smurf Tony for Ironheart.
Yeah, probably because the AI for Riri Williams, right?
Yeah.
But we also must talk about the other ones in the room. Is it possible that we have just confirmed the Illuminati?
Oh yeah, we definitely confirmed the Illuminati. Although I think it's already being rumored, and there is production art.
Yeah.
That the Professor Charles Xavier we're seeing is actually 90s X-Men Yellow Chair Charles.
If we got that, we would freak out.
Oh yeah, just the yellow chair alone is enough.
Yeah, the yellow chair alone is enough, but we would be freaking out if that was 90s. If that was 90s Professor X. If that was Professor Xavier from the 90s.
So we also know for a fact that Marvel lies their butts off in trailers, which is why it's always feasible deniability. Both Will and I are wrong entirely. And Wanda's fighting, for all we know, Clerk the Super Skrull, which we laugh, but Clerk is
possible.
Something to mess with.
It's possible, it is. But I do like the fact that they finally, I mean, they said it. I was listening, of course, the Nightmare Begins, and I've been saying this the entire time. Joe's actually agreed with me that chances are that we will get to see the Nightmare dimension, which the Dreamland dimension, and that's where Nightmare resides. Where Nightmare resides. So, I mean, I would like to see Mephisto, but as Joe pointed out, Mephisto he's not very marketable.
Not marketable. There's too many churches, and we can visualize Satan. We have done that in numerous films. But Mephisto's got a style that just screams, that's the devil.
Pretty much. So I can see them going with Nightmare because Nightmare is more of a safe choice. So, but again, for those that all see the Doctor Strange trailer, yes, it is coming out May 6th. It's going to be interesting because I just like the fact of just where it is as far as seeing Scarlet Witch and just the whole dynamic of, as she pointed out, I break the rules. I'm seen as the bad guy. you break the rules. You're seen as the hero. Going back to her time in her WandaVision, but I'm like, Wanda, you kind of took a town against their will.
So if you also watched and remember the series, the first part of it, she was completely unaware of what she was doing.
Right, her powers grew. Her powers literally took over. Her powers basically took over.
Her grief just manifested, and she was unaware of it until like midway through, when some things were poking through the holes. Like when she ousted Monica, that's when you knew. And she came through with the drone. She's like, "Don't you mess with my home."
Yeah,
that's when you knew. Okay, now she's aware. But anyways, so as I was saying, we know Marvel lies in their trailers. I do not remember Hulk running through the fields of Wakanda. So I'm either saying because there are way too many chairs for the members of the Illuminati based off the comics.
True, there are a few empty
there are
chairs.
either more characters that are just visually edited out, or there's too many chairs to throw us off.
Either that, or they're trying to very shield us. Because I still say we're probably going to. I'm going to just go on a limb and say it. I think we're going to see a Reed Richards in this.
Oh yeah, we're going to see a Reed. Probably a multiversal Black Panther.
Yeah.
We already know Charles.
Yeah.
Hopefully this man gets his job back, but they can get Black Bolt from that god awful.
I think he's in it. I think what's his name? Because he was in Hell on Wheels, and I can't think of his name to save my life. Anson Mount. There we go. Anson Mount.
Anson Mount, he can come back. We just need to give him the proper Black Bolt costume, because this is something Marvel's doing more and more as these movies go on.
Yeah.
We're getting more and more comic accurate.
And I'm digging it. Although I will talk about salty directors right now, because apparently that's becoming a growing trend. But I'll get to that momentarily, because we still got another trailer to get to. But really quickly, yes, I am playing Horizon Forbidden West, as you can see the TV behind me.
I am downloading Horizon Forbidden West.
And I'm gonna let Joe. Joe, you got to play it. What have you thought about it so far, really quickly?
No, I got 4 hours.
That's good enough.
No, I got 4 hours downloading.
Oh, dang. Oh.
I literally bought it at 5:00 today.
Oh, damn. Okay. So, all right. Well, I will spoil it. First and foremost, you will not be disappointed. There is some slight differences in gameplay, but it's only because there's other mechanics that are being put into place. But again, the story does not fail. And trust me, you will be wrapped in it within the first, I think I'm about 10, maybe 11 hours into it by now. But
have you found Vegas?
Say what?
Have you found Vegas to settle that question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a yes or no question without spoilers. Have you found Vegas? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that's about the best I can put that. But no, Horizon Forbidden West, if you're on the fence about it, it is definitely worth playing, especially if you loved Zero Dawn. And also Sifu, which again, Sifu also came out, got to play that. It was a nice little 13, 14-hour game, but for the price of it, for $39.99, it is definitely worth playing. So definitely, I would say what?
Kung Fu Dark Souls?
Pretty much. It really is Kung Fu Dark Souls, but it's fun. It is really fun. It is really fun and challenging. So I will say that just really quickly. And of course, Joe, once he plays Horizon Forbidden West, will definitely get his impressions on that as well.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Joe.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah, can't wait to play that. I'm in post-game for Pokemon.
Oh, trust me, you won't be disappointed with Horizon Forbidden West at all. And I do mean they you know what? Shutting up until this podcast is over about that. But
I am having some fun in Pokemon right now with post game, because I am now what we call alpha hunting.
I still like the fact that y'all just run up on Pokemon, just run the fade. That was
yeah, no, I toss a berry, I distract him, I pop him in the back of the head with a Pokeball. You actually get a better catch rate doing that. Like, it's literally a technique in the game.
So distraction and then just attack on Titan them?
Oh yeah.
Just go for the neck.
I mean, it's really hard to go for a neck on Glalie, but you know.
Distraction and go for the neck. Wow.
I mean, you capture some of these alphas are like truly monstrous sizes. Like and you can put them in various places to do like resource gathering for you.
Yeah.
So I have like a Torterra and a Steelix on the farm in Jubilee City, and no joke, the Steelix is taller than the houses, and the
Nice.
Torterra is bigger than the houses.
And you're still going to, you know what? I just got
And
to tackle
the best
Titan.
part is half this field's like Pokemon are terrifying. I have put a large turtle and a metal and a living metal tower in this on your farm. Please mess with me.
Speaking of things that have been messed with, we do have the other trailer for Jordan Peele's next movie, Nope. And I'm going to be honest, if there was ever a movie that was literally surrounding a horror movie surrounding Black folks, this was the perfect title for it. But this is the trailer for what we're going to show now.
Did you know that the very first assembly of photographs to create a motion picture was a 2-second clip of a black man on a horse? And that man is my great-great-grandfather.
Great.
There's another great-grandfather. But that's why back at the Haywood Ranch, as the only black-owned horse trainers in Hollywood, we like to say since the moment pictures could move, yeah, skin in the game.
What's a bad miracle? They gotta work for that.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so that basically was the trailer for Nope. As you can see right there, it does come out July 22nd of this year, and there is no other way to explain it. I am intrigued by this. And also, very quickly, I did see Kelly did comment. I think this will be a way for them to introduce the new Black Panther. I can see that in Doctor Strange, and that takes the fun out of Pokemon. I don't really think it does.
It's a different type of Pokemon game entirely. It really doesn't, because you're in a whole different loop, because you're in the 1800s and people are afraid of Pokemon, so there's no Pokemon trainers. So if you want to buy money, you got to go out and start popping Pokemon in the head.
It's Wild West Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
It's Wild West Pokemon.
They flat out tell you in the game, early in the game, you don't make yourself useful. We're just going to exile you from the village, and you're on your own.
Dang, and that explains why.
And this is one of those things where, like, they get to tell you this because they make it very, very obvious early in the game. Well, you look 15, so it's like, oh, I'm not a 10-year-old. I'm a teenager. Oh, you're gonna let me die out there. Abitu's gonna like tackle me, and that'll be it.
Dang. But that's interesting. But going back to Nope really quick, it's intriguing. I will be honest with you. Jordan Peele has yet for me to put out a movie that doesn't either grab you, make you think, or make you rewatch it and make sure that you're really getting it. I mean, with Get Out and Us and now Nope, I'm gonna be we don't really know what the animal is, if it's a creature, if it's a a force of nature? We don't know. But I love the fact that, you know, the whole idea is just that as soon as you saw it, it was more like Get Out. But nope, it will be coming out July 22nd this year. Joe, what did you think of it?
So Get Out was a dark comedy, wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay. And then Us was what? Psychological thriller or
it was more I can't explain Us. Us is like what you remember Ray Bradbury's The Birds?
Yes.
Kind of that perspective.
Okay. So this may be Jordan Peele's The Mist or The Langoliers?
Close to it.
Okay.
If I was taking a wild guess, probably The Langoliers.
I'll roll with it.
But it's gonna be interesting. I will say that much. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest. It's probably gonna be one of those I gotta go back and rewatch again. But speaking of movies, before we get to the Capcom thing, I do gotta talk about this. Directors, and I know Joe, we talked about this in our Facebook chat. I know other people have talked about this, but these salty directors that have never produced superhero movies are now all coming out the woodwork, literally coming at Marvel and saying, "Oh, well, you know, these superhero movies are one formulas. They're just cranking them out. It's killing the music. It's killing the movie industry." And every time I see this, and correct me if I'm wrong, these are all coming from directors who have never directed a superhero movie.
Yeah, they're all. I mean, you know, I look at it this way: almost the top 3 highest grossing films in US are superhero movies now, because you know, the people that grew up with comics are now the ones making the money and making the financial decisions. I mean, you know, it's a genre. Every genre is going to peter out eventually. I mean, the cowboy movie gave away to the gangster movie, which gave away to the musical, which gave away to the teeny bopper, which gave away to the
rom-coms, right?
Which gave away to horrible movies with white posters with red texts. That's now over to superhero movies. Give it another couple of years. But something's going to come out that's going to cause it to stumble so badly that it'll go away.
But here's the thing, though. It's coming from directors who have directed nothing more than action movies that weren't as successful as superhero movies. Roland Emmerich, the guy who did Moonfall, he was one of the guys that came out and said, "Oh, well, these movies are just copycats of each other." I'm like, really? This comes from the guy who did Independence Day? Moonfall is nothing more than Independence Day over a comedy, and you're going to talk about them being carbon copies?
I mean, for the fact that Roland Emmerich, I mean, he makes disaster movies, and disaster movies are over with. We're living in a disaster movie. We don't want to see another disaster.
Right. And also, you got Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott came out, and it was like, well, these movies, I'm like, no, Ridley Scott, because you're trying to give us a sequel for Gladiator. How long has it been since the first movie came out? I was like, it's kind of been a while. Russell Crowe has moved on.
Russell Crowe is probably Ezekiel in the upcoming Craven movie.
Yeah, so it's like, don't get me wrong, I love Gladiator, still love it, still go back and go watch it every now and then, but it's like, these directors are killing me where it's just along the lines of, oh, well, these superhero movies. And like you said, this right now is the current genre. I mean, do I think it's going to run out at some point? Yes. But the problem is with telling superhero / comic book stories, there are a plethora of stories that may take the next 40 or 50 years, maybe, if done properly. If you're really doing films about these superhero movies, I mean, just like you had Kevin Feige come out and talked about, well, Avengers Endgame was the last Avengers movie. I'm like,
oh yeah. Well, I mean, I look at it this way. I noticed that one. Mm-hmm. That to me, that is the last Avengers movie without a suffix in front of it.
Pretty much.
New Avengers, Young Avengers, Secret Avengers, Next Avengers, Savage Avengers.
Right. So we know there's gonna be an Avengers. We always know there's gonna be an Avengers movie in these phases. But it just amazes me about these directors where it's just like, oh, well, this is just gonna draw the crowd. Okay, make better movies. Give alternatives. Trust me when I say this. there are sometimes, just like Uncharted, based on a video game. We know the history of video game adaptations to movies. Movies that are so bad, but we'll still watch them. I mean, let's be honest. If Street Fighter came on, a lot of us will still watch it. How badly it is, aside from Raw Julia, rest his soul, because I still think that was the greatest M. Bison impression ever. And, Jean-Claude Van Damme still playing Guile.
I was there for Zangief. I don't know what you're talking about.
You didn't like Raw Julia's Bison?
Oh, that's beside the point.
I mean, he gave the greatest line in movies for you.
I know. I'm just saying. Aside from Ross Julius, I was there for Zangief.
Okay, I can dig that. Zangief was cool. I can't make mad at him. But I'm like, he gave the coldest line in any movie game adaptation ever.
Quickly change the channel?
Huh?
Quickly change the channel?
Oh, no. When he talked to Min I Win.
Oh, yeah, I know about Chun-Li.
But I know what you're talking about, though.
Punk used that line this week.
Yes, in AEW, that when he was in Nashville, some lucky people got to go to. But anyway.
Oh, right. He was in Nashville. I could have gone to that.
I couldn't. Well. That's all right. But no, it's just that when it comes to these directors, man, I just want to sit there, and I say it all the time on my Facebook post. I'm like, if you want to be that salty, give us alternative but better movies. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing Uncharted tomorrow. I still want to see Tom Holland's Nathan Drake, although I still wish that we could have had another individual when he was in his prime do it, but okay.
Honestly, I'm waiting for the Uncharted novelization to come out because actual Nathan Drake is going to be doing the
Nolan North.
Nolan North is going to be doing the reading of the audiobook.
Nice. I can look forward to that.
Kind of, because he's also doing every other voice. But I mean, we get actual Nathan Drake saying Nathan Drake stuff in a book. So,
but still Uncharted. Like I said, looking forward to seeing it tomorrow and seeing how that's going to do. But speaking of that, though,
we also got other movie news because Spider-Man beat out Avatar.
Yes, I was about to say that.
Until next week when Avatar magically re-releases in theaters. And I love how everyone comes after me. It's like, we haven't heard that. It's like, I am making a joke because that is what happened with Avengers.
And they re-released
it. Now, Disney owns them now. That won't be the case. Like, Disney owned Avatar when the Avengers beat them and still put the movie back out.
Exactly. And so, again, it's like, I don't know what it is. Like, I'm sorry. I'm just going to be honest. I am not. My whole attention to Avatar has been gone because it's like, we're now getting into double decades of the last time the Avatar movies be put out. And then supposedly 2 and 3 are supposed to be coming along someday.
2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
All I want to know is what advertising group got the investors to buy onto this, because I'm in the wrong line of work. I'm just going to be honest.
I watched midway through that movie because I looked at it like, oh, this is a really crappy retelling of Dances with Wolves. And that's how you end your movie right there midway through the movie.
Pretty much. No argument there. But still, it's just, like I said, they can't, it's like Spider-Man No Way Home was the pinnacle storytelling, and I say so far, because I mean, I'm still waiting for Across the Spider-Verse, which we won't get until next year, but still.
October.
Oh, it's October?
Part 1 is in October.
They're splitting it?
No, that's a good thing.
What? Okay.
No, it's a good thing because that means they have another time. We're going to get certain worlds, and certain worlds will probably take more time than other worlds.
Maybe so, but I've just never. Okay. What you're saying makes complete sense. It's just, to me, it's just, I've never been a fan of the part 1/part 2 movies. To me, it's like you kind of half-assed it, and then it's like, oh, well, we're giving ourselves enough time to come back and film the rest.
I'm not either, but I have this weird feeling that one of the universes he's going to, and it's already confirmed that he is going, is Spider-Man. And the way, and this part is where it's my theory, is that when Miles travels to that world, it is the 1970s live-action tokusatsu version.
Okay, so I can see that.
Just so they can get Leopardon and Spider-Man, but Miles has to deal with, when he talks, it's going to be a Japanese actor saying stuff, and he's going to be subtitled.
Yeah.
It's going to be completely live action with all the film technology of the 1970s. That
would
is
kinda-
what my pitch is for when they go into that world.
That would kind of be cool. So I can't
Either
be
that or
mad
it's going to be a
about that.
manga. Either that or it's going to be a manga page. One of those two.
Oh, if they go manga, that's gonna go nuts. That's gonna be something else.
I want them to
That's
do my version though, because that sounds so fun.
Yeah, that'll be fun. But no, I can live with that. So October this year, I have to write that down. But moving right along, I did want to cover this other thing too. Two other things before we get to other news that Joe has. Again, I wanted to cover. I would be amiss if I don't cover Peacemaker. Joe, have you seen the season finale for Peacemaker?
It is only a rumor that he screws fish.
So that's a yes. So anyway,
I love that thing. It's like, no, it's not a rumor. F you, Barry.
I just love that fact. So again, for Peacemaker, for season finale, yes, we are going to go into full spoilers. If you haven't seen it, now would be the good time to mute this for the next few minutes. So with that being said, Peacemaker did wrap up with episode 8, and it did not disappoint, especially about the mysterious cow and the butterflies. And I was like, okay, so
You know, I kept trying to figure out because that thing looks so familiar to me. Like I've seen it in something else DC, and I don't know where.
It did look familiar, but I couldn't point it out. I couldn't tell you where.
I looked under like Silky from Teen Titans Go.
Yeah.
Like in the adult form, or Silky and Teen Titans when he became a moth for that one moth episode. I looked at Mr. Mine at one point, and I know I've seen that style of worm somewhere in DC, but for life of me, I do not know where.
Still though, for the simple fact, I kind of gave up when I couldn't find it. I couldn't find any reference to what worm they were going with, aside from calling it a cow. But I have to say, for this season finale, it was definitely great to see kind of a full circle thing with Peacemaker, and along with everyone else. And again, Vigilante just seems to that. If there was ever a person that's going to be stealing the scene on every Peacemaker episode he's on, it's going to be him. Just because of the fact that them, their final assault and getting Eagly to drop the sonic boom helmet in the right place was still the funniest thing on earth. Eagly, you're gonna fly over here, you're gonna drop it right there, and then that's it. And you see Hardcore going there. He's not understanding any of this. And of course, poor Eagly does put in the wrong place, and then all hell breaks loose. But it's interesting how interesting to see Adebayo's character kind of turn on her mom, and her mom was like, "Ain't this about her?" And she goes, "Well," it's almost like a proud moment. She's like, I'm so proud of you. It's like she's mad, but at the same time, she's proud. It's like you're finally.
My question is, though, if they shut down Task Force X, what's Economos doing at Belle Reve?
Oh, they didn't shut it. You know they ain't shut down.
They probably just replaced directors.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's like, Amanda Waller's still right. I love how they say it's like, well, because we kind of remember from Zack Snyder's Suicide Squad. It's like, shut down, or my friends will shut down for you. But we all know Task Force X is still going to be around because they still want a Suicide Squad movie with Deadshot and Bloodsport. They want that to happen. And let's be honest, if they can convince James Gunn to come back and do it, I would watch it. It has to be done. To me, the most successful Suicide Squad movie was when James Gunn did it, because it was done in a way that actually made sense versus the Hollywoodized version. But besides the Hollywoodized version, but with Peacemaker, though, I like the way it wrapped up. I mean, the whole idea of him coming to grips with it. Everybody else / Mern, and the fact that they didn't really mention a killer moth, but I kind of felt like they did, and that one of the butterflies was still quote unquote alive at the end.
Golf, because remember, they never shot the lady that had golf in the head.
Yeah. So it's just interesting that I still think it was interesting, and of course, for all those that are wondering what Joe is meaning by the cameo, Joe, would you like to explain where that cameo came from?
So the Justice League shows up, and Peacemaker just yells at them that they're effing late. and yells at Aquaman. It's like, why don't you just go back and F some fish? And he's like, that's a rumor. And Barry goes like, it's not a rumor. And then you just hear, F you, Barry.
That I
And
thought
Ezra Miller's is like grinning across the thing.
I just had to laugh because I was like, I did not expect that cameo to happen. I was like, just to see them pop
I
up. I'm
expected
like,
the silhouettes, but I didn't expect for it to be actually Jason Momoa and Ezra Miller. I knew that it wasn't going to be Henry Cavill because he's done being Superman, despite what everybody says. That man is done. He's got Witcher money now.
I can say that.
Gal
But that'd be
Gadot's off filming something else, so I knew it wasn't going to be her.
yeah, I mean, well, Gal Gadot's she's filming Cleopatra, so that makes sense. But still,
God help that woman with the way that movie's cursed.
I ain't gonna lie. I still have hope for Henry Cavill. I still think if they give him the deal that he wants, I think he'll come back.
I would love it to. This is the only good thing I will say about Whedon Justice League. Whedon Superman is a good Superman. He understands. He writes Superman as he should be. He brings joy.
I can see that.
Unfortunately, it's snarky joy and whatnot, and I do not support Whedon in any way. But the Whedon written Superman, as opposed to Snyder's Superman, I will take the latter version over the former over the latter.
So you don't want to go dark Superman? Really, really dark lighting, really dark tones, and a very emo, depressed Superman?
I mean, as long as he's Superman being controlled by Darkseid.
Oh, we'll never get that. We'll never get that.
Speaking of Superman, I know that Superman this week got preempted by the Olympics.
Yep.
But we do get to see they are showing production things. Jordan has a super suit, and it's a very specific super suit.
Mm-hmm.
It is 90s Superboy suit with leather gloves, probably some sunglasses or leather jacket, black S shirt.
I still like the fact that I still like the fact that they made it to the point, even though it's like, yeah, he went to his grandpa and said, I need you to train me to help my dad. It's like, are y'all trying to link it? Are y'all trying to give us a Superboy-esque, Superboy Prime-esque story? Which again, I'm not mad about. I would not be mad about that at all. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it once we get past the Olympics, which I think the final ceremonies tomorrow, the ending ceremonies hopefully are tomorrow, I guess, or today. China works differently than us. I'm about to say they're in Beijing, so it works way different on the other side of the world. But no, I'm looking forward to that. So the last bit of news I got before we go over to Joe, because Joe definitely does have some wrestling news. Some may have some fun about it. Some of them may, depending on how you feel about it. But anyway, there is a countdown that's on Capcom's site. If you have not seen it, number one, it is by far the weirdest thing about this, in that if you go to Capcom Games right now, which is currently, this is what's showing there. This is directly from their website. As you can see, the clock says 2 days, 3 hours. So for all those that are wondering, we do know at this point that Capcom is either going to be releasing a game or announcing other things. So Joe, I know we were talking about this before the podcast went live. What do you think, just guess-wise, that you think that clock may be about?
RE4 remake predictions.
Won't argue with that, because mine
actually, this thing started 4 days ago at the number 6. This will be debuting at a Capcom Street Fighter event. They are going to be formally announcing Street Fighter 6.
If they announce Street Fighter 6, it's going to go crazy.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, next year would be the appropriate. They announce it now and it comes out next year. That's an appropriate time. We already have our first Street Fighter 6 character.
But it also can be argued that same backdrop was used for Resident Evil. When they wanted to show Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, they used the same format. So my mind, it's like it's either because Resident Evil Village is still less than a year old. About a year old. DLCs, I think, are coming for Village, which for 7, I think they had one, Not a Hero, End of Zoe, I'm missing one. Not a Hero, End of Zoe, Hidden Tapes. So 3. So they had 3 DLCs for Biohazard, which makes me think that, okay, the same format's being done. It was a year until we had DLCs for Biohazard. It's almost been a year since Village, which makes me think that we might see DLCs for RE Village. But also at the same time, you're exactly right. It is heavily rumored that the RE4 remake may be coming out. But unfortunately, we will not know until 2 days from now exactly what it will be. But for all those that are watching, though, if you're in the comments, let us know what you think, what Capcom's announcement will be 2 days from now. What were you going to say, Joe?
So the other reason that let them introduce Street Fighter 6, on top of the fact that it started with the 6, is that the timer ends on the same day at the end of Street Fighter Pro Tour. It's also 2022 is also the 35th anniversary of Street Fighter 2.
Okay, I can see that.
Actually, yes. I mean, at the same time, we could all be correct, and this could just be one massive info dump from Capcom, like a Capcom Direct, or we get such things as Monster Hunter 6, RE4 Remake, Street Fighter 6, Dragon Dogma 2. I mean, it could be a Direct. It could just be Street Fighter 6. It could be Resident Evil. But the fact that it's started with the 6, it coincides with Pro Tour, and 2022 is the 35th anniversary, I'm more leaning towards it's Street Fighter.
I was going to say
it's all wrong, and it's secretly Capcom versus SNK 3.
But you do bring up an interesting point, though. What if it is a conclave of trailers of games that are coming out? That would be that number one. You're right to see that many trailers come out during the Pro Tour tournament and then just blow everybody away. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, that'd be a hell of a marketing strategy.
If it is Street Fighter 6, we look at it this way: we get a formal announcement now.
Yeah.
We get our first video trailer, or at least our beta trailer, or our vertical slice at E3. Then at Game Awards, we get our gameplay trailer, and then we get our release date.
That's true.
Everything else, I mean, it could just fall in line. I mean, RE can come out over at E3 pretty easily. Everything else can come out pretty easily. I'm just leaning more towards Street Fighter because, I mean, we already know who our first Street Fighter 6 character is.
That's true. I mean, you wouldn't be wrong, though. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I would like it to be more than that, but honestly, out of all those games we just described, you really can't go wrong, especially if it was Capcom versus SNK, a game that hasn't seen a platform since
Xbox.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's been a couple of years. It's been more than a couple of years, but it'll be interesting to see what. Like I said, I've been checking my periodically, like I've been checking my like I've been checking my tax refund. But again, I have to remind myself 2 days from now, I'll be able to. The dreaded things of being an adult to file taxes.
No, I mean I know how to file my own taxes. It's one of those waiting games for everything I need necessary to come in.
Gotcha.
Not to mention my bank right now is in the middle of transitioning to a new name, so that's being fun.
Oh, that's fun. That's definitely fun. But that's the news I got, Joe. So what you got for tonight? What you got for us tonight?
We got, see if I can't find it and pull it up. Getting stuff pulled up. Window, there we go.
Oh, okay. Just let me know when you switch over.
Yeah, switch over.
Okay, got you covered.
So first item of news, Fables is coming back. This is a close to 7-year hiatus from Bill Willingham and the gentleman I do not know because I have to look at this thing. Willingham and Buckingham. If you don't know, Fables was a huge book at DC for a time. We've already talked about Wolf Among Us.
Mm-hmm.
This is Wolf Among Us, right?
Yep.
Okay, for some reason I say Among Us and I think the other game.
Oh, you're thinking. that my about to be son and my nephew love Among Us, and I never seen a bunch of 8-9-year-olds call suspect on everything. But I'm sorry, but go ahead.
So this is Fables issue 151. It's a 12-part story called The Black Forest. This will be picking up, I believe, in May. It has the original writer and author. You can already see the first couple pages over at where is this being shared at? Games Radar.
Okay.
The premise is still the same. You still got your core cast of characters: Snow White, Red, Snow White, not Red Riding Hood, Snow White, Rose Red,
Red.
Snow White's husband, Bigby, who briefly appeared in a rather forgettable crossover with Batman.
I won't say forgettable, but I see your point.
It really flew under the radar.
Batman versus Batman.
I
I had
don't
to
know.
think about that one for a second, but go ahead.
So the whole premise of this 12-issue arc is there is a new adversary. The original adversary was midway through the books. This is spoilers. That book is ridiculously old. Now, I have the full compendium sitting on my shelf. That sucker is huge. I could kill a man with all 4 of them.
Dang. Phone book?
I mean, it's 150 chapters plus all the supplemental books like Ferris and
So phone book.
Jack. Oh, it's 4 phone books.
Damn. Okay.
Anyway, so it's all the core cast of characters plus this new character, which is yet to be named in front of us, which to me, honestly, I think is Robin Hood, but it turns out it's Maid Marian as Robin Hood, but speculation. So the premise is that there is a new adversary who is raising armies again in the world of Fables to take out, because he has a bone to pick with Geppetto, and Fabletown in New York is caught in the crossfire.
Geppetto has I'm sorry, that's gonna stick with me for a while. That one's gonna stick with me. A bone to pick with Geppetto.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
You did not do nice things.
Just
Moving on over, we have other news. We have Gundam news. Leading into the Gundam, because Gundam Info announces a massive streaming lineup to celebrate 2 million subscribers. They will be showing all these Gundam movies. A lot of these movies are compressed series, mostly from either the movie trilogies, duologies, and 0083's case. They'll be showing the whole series. This starts at the end of March or end of February with the original Gundam movie trilogy. After that, it will jump in, and this is a rotating schedule, so they are not sticking around on Gundam Info. So you'll have a block of all 3. Then it'll switch over to the Thunderbolt duology.
Okay.
Which are represented here. Then it's going to give us all 13 episodes of 0083, which I really like that. Kind of wish it was my favorite one of 0080 War in a Pocket, but, I can't always get what I want.
Nobody does.
The 2015 updated trilogy of Zeta Gundam. Gundam Narrative, which I don't know how well that was received. I heard good mixed
Not very.
Okay.
Not very.
The finale movie for Gundam 0080, the movie trilogy for Gundam Seed, the movie trilogy for Gundam Seed Destiny, and the movie, I'm not sure if it's a trilogy or not for Recongusta NG, but...
It's a trilogy.
Oh, is it a trilogy?
Yep.
I never through that series. I love this series.
Yeah, that one's definitely a trilogy.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good one, actually. I like the series.
As always, if you go there, you can still find all 4 of the Build Fighter series. As I always say to everyone, watch Build Fighters. Stay the crap away from Build Divers. Don't do it. Only villains do that. As well as SD Gundam World and SD Gundam World Heroes, which kind of gives weird retellings of folklore and legend using Gundams, SD Gundam.
Pretty much. Yep. It was weird.
So, lots of Gundam. Those are good things. Also, right now on YouTube is the Ultraman press conference where They are talking in really bad English and giving stage fights.
So
A couple of the Ultraman actors actually know pretty good English.
So I was gonna say, is it really bad translation or Nintendo Channel Direct bad translation?
Oh no, it's not the bad translations. It's them speaking actual English.
That is kind of rough.
Very heavily accented. A couple of them are very good about it.
Yeah. Well, I'll say a couple of them. It's like some people when they're trying to speak English language, it's not always interesting. It's not always clear, but they try. They do try.
I understand it perfectly, but that's because I had a Japanese grandma, so I know what it's like to listen with that kind of an accent.
Fair enough.
All right, before we move into comics, I have been requested by our third host, who is here sometimes, to bring up Power Rangers. We are not covering Power Rangers. That will be on the other show. Coming back next week.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm only laughing because I was told all this before we went live, but go ahead, Joe.
Power Ranger, the current arc of Power Rangers ended the Otarn War. Many expletives were said by our lost co-host, who will be coming back shortly. It ends Power Rangers, so we are stuck with just Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers Universe, which will start a new arc. It was fantastic. It gives you a lot of Dream Zord combinations. You finally get to see the White Tiger Zord combined with the Dragon Zord to make the White Tiger Mega Dragon Zord.
Nice.
Just a lot of fun things in that book. Bulk and Skull are hilarious and always good-hearted people in that series. You also just get to see Lord Zed, like, after a big fight, plop down beside Zordon. It's like, okay, I'm sitting down. You're laying down, I'm sitting down. We're going to have a chat.
Why can I just see? I'm sorry. I'm just imagining Shadow just.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the first 5 minutes of the conversation were nothing but arguments.
Oh, man.
I actually had to hang up on him at one point because we had to call family to see what we were doing for dinner.
Damn.
Then the expletives, then when I called him back, it just kept coming. We'll cover it next week when we do the pure comic show, because that's coming back next week because he's helping me out.
Okay, because I was gonna say, because if Shadow's come back for this, I'm like, I just want to be there just to watch this.
He's doing reactions and color commentary on the show. I'm being straight man, so.
He's gonna be. I want to watch just for the price of it, just to see the look on his face.
Yeah, and for those wondering where we go from there, Ryan Perot, who was the co-architect of Eltarn War, is joining his friend Kyle Higgins, who wrote Power Rangers and handed the title off to him. They're both heading over to Image because Kyle Higgins is writing Radiant Black. Ryan Perot is writing Rogue Sun, the third member of the massive verse of Image, which I'm just calling it what it straight is. It's the Toku verse of Image.
Pretty much. But Radiant Black has just been awesome.
Oh, yeah. So Ryan Perot's Rogue Sun is the metal hero of them.
Okay. I can live with that. I just thought about the last Radiant Black episode. The last Radiant Black episode issue was really, really good. So I am.
And then next week it's Supermassive, so we get introduced to everybody.
Nice.
And then we get the Radiant Rogues. One of them looks very suspiciously like Kamen Rider Necrom. I wonder why.
Crossover?
No, not a crossover. Just the design is. I know what you're doing, and I know that you're being clever because only fans of Kamen Rider are going to pick up on this. I see what you're doing. You can't fool me. I know a Kamen Rider when I see it.
You know, Kamen Rider close enough to where it's like, nope, I'm not who you think I am. Really, the Jedi mind trick, I'm not who you think I am.
Pretty much.
Oh, man. That's going to be funny.
All right, I got comics queued up.
Okay, hang on a second, because I'm trying to clear my eyes out because I am literally crying myself to tears because I cannot get out of my head how Shadow reacted to all this.
All right, our first book is New Iron Fist. which a lot of people, you finally get your wish. A white man is not doing kung fu anymore.
Times I wish people read comic books, but go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I know. Tell me about it. So this is written by Alyssa Wong, art by Michelle Yung, and cover by David David Ramos. This is the jumping on point for people that want to get on Iron Fist but don't like Danny Rand.
I don't know how you don't, but okay.
As you do. This dude is named Lin Lee. His whole deal is he was a swords master of a mythical sword. Sword busted and shards get embedded in his arm. In the process of this, he was taken by the dragon that bestows its chi to make anybody the Iron Fist, the defender of Kunlun. He runs into Danny Rand. They have a small fight. And then this kid just bounces back to where he comes from and winds up with his best friend's family. And his dad has a sword piece that potentially turns him into an Oni.
Pretty much.
And that's where we leave it for there. This is a solid introduction. Feel we could have gotten to know the character a little bit more for his first outing. But I'm fine with what we got because he shows that this is an entirely different beast from what Danny Rand was. So I'm all for it.
You're not wrong. I mean, there does need to be a. I mean, I enjoyed the issue. I wish it did have a little bit more into as far as explaining about the divine weapon that was destroyed, and yet the shards are embedded in him, and how did he come in contact with the dragon in order to actually get his chi. As like, I kind of felt like you kind of just sped through the important parts a little bit, but overall, I mean, I do like the fact they did induce Danny Rand, and kind of to the point to where he was it was almost like a mentoring thing to a certain point. It's like, you're Iron Fist, but you still got a lot to learn, even though I'm not long on the Iron Fist, but still I do like that commentary they did have, especially during the fight scenes where he swiped he did swipe the shard from him, only for him to turn around and swipe it right back. So it's like you're kind of a dick, but I kind of respect you for that.
I like the fact that this kid is using the shards power first before he's willing to use the Iron Fist power. Because even Dave's like, the costume's similar, but the glow's different.
Right.
And then he started using the Iron Fist powers.
That was different. But again, for all those people that don't know, again, Iron Fist was white guy. This part I never understood. Now, I don't mean to go on this rant, but it's like, how do you get upset if you've never read a comic? It's like saying you will be mad if it's like they always keep on saying Batman's greatest power is white privilege, but you understand that there were some incantations. Like there's currently a run right now where Batman's played by a black guy. Lucas Fox's I want to say his son, either son or nephew, one of the two.
No, it's his son. It's Lucius Fox's second son.
Thank you. I was like, either son or nephew. I couldn't think of either two at the moment. But it's just like, you guys get caught up and no one reads. It's like, what do you think Iron Fist was? It's like, how in the world?
To be fair to them, and this is one of the few times this is the time I'll throw them a bone. A lot of people got introduced to a lot of these street level characters via the Netflix series, and Iron Fist was not a good series.
That's because whoever was a showrunner didn't actually get specific people to actually train the guy. It's like,
it wasn't even that. It was just the writing was terrible. It's like every other sentence was, I'm Danny Rand, blah, 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 Kunlun. It's like, plus it's also, well, I mean, this is my company. It's like, you've been gone for how many years?
Right.
And you expect us just to hand over a company that these other people have been here longer and worked harder for? No, sir.
Don't get me wrong. Terrible. It was terrible writing with the first season, but you would think from the fight standpoint it would be better. Now, granted, in the second season, it did get significantly better choreography-wise, but I just kind of felt like, what happened to Iron Fist was like the first two seasons of Batwoman. That's about the best way I could put that.
Yeah,
it's
but
like
the best episodes of Iron Fist are when it was Iron Fist and Luke Cage.
Pretty much, because that's all we wanted to see.
Yeah, all we wanted was Power Man and Iron Fist.
Yeah, that's all we wanted to see at that point was of Iron Fist, was basically when he was paired up with Luke Cage. But I see your point though. But no, just going back to Iron Fist, the first chapter of this, I'm digging it. It's kind of interesting where Danny kind of points out the costume is like, it's a little off, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'll stick around and see. Definitely more than I will the Monkey Prince. I've already dropped that. That was only one chapter. I just can get behind that. This I'll give a shot and see how much further I can go with this one. I mean, with the deluge of X books coming out next month, I got to make room.
You're gonna have a field day with that, especially with
long box. That's all there is to it.
You have to build it. At this point, you're gonna wind up building one of those larger shelves. This rate, but go ahead. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
No, I don't think my room can support the weight. Moving on, we have Marvel Voices Legacy #1. This is celebrating Black History Month. I was gonna say this is a variety of writer and artists, but after looking at it, I could say this is majoritively written by Cody Ziegler with various artists.
Pretty much.
Not a bad book, and not as stingy Cody Ziegler. That man does an amazing job with the different characters and stories. He's writing a Primo story over in Spider-Man right now. For the parts he's writing, just a lot of stuff. I don't think there's actually a story about Night Thrasher, but okay.
It wasn't even a story. It was more like a description, which I was like, all right.
If they're going to throw in Night Thrasher, I want to know where Rocket Racer is. I mean, for God's sakes, this book had Hypno Hustler in it.
That is also true. You jive turkeys. You jive turkeys gonna pay attention to me. I'm sorry. I was thinking to myself, I was reading that. I was like, you know what? Not mad. Not mad at all. Not mad at all.
Hustler is like, I don't know how to say this properly without sounding horrible. Hypno Hustler is just another version of the Shocker.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
That is the best way I can say that sentence.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll give you that. But you're not wrong though. I did actually like the stories out of this too. The short stories.
Oh, yeah.
Between I still say my favorite to this point is still Sam and Misty Knight. That was still my favorite out of all of them. I mean, don't get me wrong.
One guy keeps confronting him about doing stuff in Harlem.
Yeah. And I was like, dude, I'm trying to get to a date. So what other things you have to do? And don't get me wrong, I do get the whole thing about Miles Morales and Starlight. I'm like, okay, I can get behind that too. But I mean, it's still a collection of short stories, which I'm not mad about. But I'm not gonna lie, I did kind of want more than what was already in there. But I agree with you. It was a great read.
Yeah, plus they're doing some weird stuff with Miles right now. Miles is in a What If anthology series, or What If Miles was certain things.
Right.
Yeah, Miles as Captain America with Starling as Bucky is weird.
It is off.
Not as weird as What If Miles Morales was the Hulk, but you know. Moving right along, we got Amazing Spider-Man #89 by written by Patrick Gleason, art by Mark Bagley, and something Hennessy. I forgot about that part.
I'm kind of mad about this episode. I'm kind of mad about this issue because of one power that she has. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
She's got her own version of Penance Stare, but it's just Sad Glance.
Yes.
That's why I'm calling it. I'm just calling it Sad Glance.
It's like you just hit her with depression. It's like, you have been a complete failure all your life. Just go ahead and jump. Wait a minute. It's like, hold up. That's like, don't get me wrong. I do like the fact that Black Cat was kind of she kind of went from support to the main character, and of course, talking to Peter, and then Ben is still somewhere.
Something. We don't know what's going on with Ben.
Right. But it's just the whole idea, just they try to explain about Queen Goblin, and it's just you see Black Cat fighting her, and it's like, oh, let me try this on you. I was like, you are not about to pit and stare her. I was like, no, think of all your failures. You failed at everything. I was like,
well, the interesting thing we see prior to this, she tries it on MJ and it doesn't work.
That's the messed up part. It's like MJ was able to withstand that.
My guess is it shows that Felicia hasn't worked through it, and MJ has.
I guess so, because I was like, you say you failed actor, failed restaurateur, failed this, and that's like MJ's like, yeah, what about it?
But, dude, that's just part of life.
Right. You
The
get the
other
black
interesting
cat.
thing we see in this is
I'm
that
sorry, go ahead.
Peter. The other interesting thing is that Peter's going in half cocked. The whole premise is Black Cat is Mary Jane and Black Cat are fighting Queen Goblin. We don't know where Ben and Janine are until we at least find Janine. But Peter is webbed with his own web shooter and can't get out.
Yeah.
Because Black Cat knows, like, yeah, you're not ready for this. You're not going anywhere. I'm webbing you to your room. Peter's like, what do we do with the nurse come? He's like, we'll just hope that no one checks on you till morning. Bye.
That was she Miyagi'd him. She was like, she kind of just threw him off the mountain. She says, if you're really up for this, break your own webs. Okay, cool. Wait a minute.
Peter can't do it, and Janine just coincidentally comes in. I guess Ben dropped her off.
Yeah.
And gave him a knife, and so he can break out of the webbing. So we know he is not 100% fighting this character, which we do get more into her origin too, because apparently she summoned the mace out of nothing.
Yeah. Because that mace was nowhere to be found, and yet all of a sudden, boom.
Also, that mace is instant death. So there's that too.
That was, yeah. We seen a couple of them get roasted. Which again, I was like, I kind of felt that was a little bit of a Ghost Rider power, because I'm like, wait a second. So you basically have a weapon that pretty much cooks people from the inside out. Cool. Okay. I'm not saying that's a ripoff of something. I'm just saying.
Now, we did have a side issue that actually went with this, and that was in between 88 and 89.
Yeah.
Which involved the Slingers, but really didn't involve anything in the main story. It's more like, hey, one of the Slingers is trapped by the Beyond organization.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go save him. And then it turns out, oh no, he's working with the Beyond organization.
Right.
But then he learns the Beyond organization bad. Everybody must escape. It wasn't really exactly tied into the story like the May Doc Ock issue was, so I just kind of skimmed that one. But
okay.
I mean, it's there. I mean, it reestablishes that the Slingers are still a thing, even though Prodigy wasn't. It was Hornet, Dusk, and Ricochet.
Pretty much.
And yeah, I said I enjoyed it, but this was better, and of course stays with the plot more.
But it does make me wonder. It's like, I hope they don't get too far away to the point to where I would like to think that the next issue has to start with Ben wherever he went, because now it's almost to a point where, well, I mean, the next page, well, not to go too deep into it, I mean, the next page just showed Queen Goblin standing over Spider-Man and Black Cat. So I don't know if we're getting a preview to the next issue, or they're just going to just stop it there.
I mean, we got 4 more issues before this arc is done, because I believe Beyond ends at issue 19, chapter 19.
Okay.
Before we get the new Amazing Spider-Man written by Zeb Wells and John Romita Jr., which is going to be a 50-50 for me, because I do not like John Romita Jr.'s art.
Kind of reminds me of another comic we're going to be talking about very soon.
Well, I mean, John Romita Jr.'s art is, everyone's super blocky.
Oh, wow. Like Minecraft blocky, or?
Kind of, to a degree. Like, just Google some of his art and you'll see what I mean. It works depending on the story, but like, it's one of those, it really depends on the story for that artwork.
Well, the moment you said Minecraft, the moment I was like, Minecraft blocky, I was like, ugh, that's a pixel problem.
Oh, yeah. So anyways, issue 89 is Amazing Spider-Man, still recommended. Moving over to the book of the week. Nightwing 89, which is coincidence because the other Spider-Man was also 89. But this is written by Tom Taylor, art by Bruno Redondo. We are doing a crossover with John Kent, and already my favorite part was the opening of the book. where we open to Batman and Nightwing in his red New 52
red
costume, I
costume.
believe.
Yeah.
Parachuting in to a mountain, and they stumble into a cave, and a giant blast of heat vision comes out, and Batman's like, what happened? You could just see the look on his face of Nightwing where it's clearly censored. He just goes, what happened? I believe the directing is like, the fuck you mean happened?
Right. To see
It's
him
just a look
scared.
he gives when he just yanks off both their masks, and it's like he is a child hidden in a cave, and the first thing he sees is a giant bat. What do you think is going to happen, Bruce?
That was still funny. What was also funny was the fact that Batman has a lollipop next to smoke bombs on his utility belt.
Yes, and they also, and even Superman brings up, like, have you ever, like, I'm going to move them?
I just thought about that the whole entire time, which I did like. It was a nice little flashback between Grayson and Colette and Kent. So I'm like, okay, I can see it's a nice little throwback to them saying that I promised his father that I would always look after him or keep in touch with him if he needed me. And it's kind of funny where you see Bruce and you see Clark have that conversation like his parents. Do you ever worry about them? He says, he's like every minute of every day, but you can't be there all the time. Superman, I was on another planet. Just that's like, really? I think you missed the point, Clark. I'm a
There's
parent.
a bad flex there.
He's like, I was on another planet, so I mean, I could be, but no, I did like this. I did like this issue to just see,
There are just some really good dialogue when Keelix just comes into the Dick Grayson's apartment, which I love that every time we see Barbara, she's got like some goofy shirt
yeah,
for geek culture. So she's wearing a Teen Titans Go t-shirt
yeah.
in bed, and when Dick Grayson's stand up, he's wearing Batman pajama bottoms.
Just shameless. I first
I
time I saw
love
it,
some of the stuff. It's like, oh, you're Superman's robot. It's like, well, I mean, he doesn't own me, but I work for him, so technically, yes.
that's still
And
funny.
this is the robot saying this.
He's like, I don't work for him per se, but I mean, I wouldn't say I'm his robot. I'm more
He
like
doesn't own me technically. I work with him.
that was still funny.
So
But
the
I mean,
long and short of this one is that there are murders being committed
mhm.
by something that are hitting superheroes that were members of the Teen Titans of their various incarnations, like even some of the mid-90s incarnations of the Titans. Someone's killing them.
Yeah.
And John and Dick have to go on a detective mission to go find out who's killing them and why. This is also a two-parter where the second part will happen in the next issue of Superman, Son of Kal-El.
Mm-hmm. But overall, it was a great read. I loved it.
I love this book so much. This is easily one of my favorite DC books.
Just the whole thing. It's a.
What was the other thing? Oh yeah, honorable mention to Green Lantern because they wrapped up this story. They wrapped up the Green Lantern arc. I mean, it's fine.
That didn't sound confident there, Joe. That did not sound confident at all.
They wrapped up the story arc. I'm looking forward to see what the new one is.
Dang, that didn't sound confident at all.
I mean, I really can't go too much into it because we're not covering it. But I mean, I'm just saying, honorable mention to Green Lantern. You made it to issue 12. Bravo.
You sound like me watching Batwoman season 1.
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
I'll just put it this way: they MacGuffin the crap out of their ending.
Dang. Fair enough. Okay. Fair enough.
All right. Final book is the final chapter in Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, written by Tom King and art by Bill Quist-Evely. The long and short of it, Supergirl and Comet the Horse are fighting space pirates, while Ruthie is contemplating murdering the man that killed her father with her father's own sword. And it's just a lesson of, is revenge worth everything and whatnot? We also learned that The true origin of Comet the Super Horse. We learned that Crypto is still best boy and is okay. Other than that, good book for me. I know you had some issue with the art.
It just okay. Maybe I'm just not I'm like when I
Art
went
is
back.
subjective.
Now,
Art writing is subjective. I totally get
now
it.
I will say this. It's just the fact that the art didn't get me. I actually went back and read the previous seven issues, and I was like, wait a second. I kind of read the end, and I'm kind of got lost in the sauce. But I went back and read the other seven, and then came back to this. I see where it makes sense now. So the story I loved. But
My fear is where they got stuck on the green sun dinosaur planet.
Yeah, that was
Mostly because it just shows that Supergirl is stronger than Superman. Because she's like, how long did he last on this planet? 30 minutes. How long have you been here? 18 hours.
I still love the fact that she kind of pulled the Indigo Montoya at the end. It's like it was almost literally the Princess Bride. It was almost like she wanted to go, you knew my father. You had his sword, prepared to die.
I just like the real ending of the book where like, oh yeah, it's been like 100 years. His sentence is up. If you want to talk to him, she's like, sure. Just decks him and leaves him in the field.
Right. Just
walks off.
Just dang. That's just, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, the only issue is like the artwork just didn't grab me. But like I said, to each his own artwork. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being different from our usual standards, whether you go light, whether you go dark, whether it's like I forgot what this drawing style is called. It'll come to me later. But where it's a lot of heavy pixel colors, kind of brightness, a little bit more texture to it. It's not bad, really. It isn't, but it's just not my cup of tea. But I mean, story wise, it was great. I loved it.
Yep, there we go. See, the dog is fine. Supergirl's also got a brand new costume because technically now I think at the end of this she is Superwoman.
Yeah.
Which I'm more than okay with. I'm wondering if this is actually tying into everything else because we are now officially on the road to Dark Crisis, where small things in books may actually link into the bigger picture.
If only DC would do that with their movies. I'm gonna leave that alone.
We're getting there. I mean, we have a better captain at the helm, so we may get there.
One would hope, but thank you, Joe. And we always want to give a shout out to Rick's Comic City, voted Nashville's best comic book store. If you are in the Nashville area, specifically Middle Tennessee, you can definitely check out all the 3 locations: one in Clarksville, one in Fort Campbell, and also the other one in Donaldson. I actually went to the one in Donaldson, took some nephews. They loved it there. Even got to see myself on television, which I had a whole bunch of people look at me and look at television and go, I was like, yes, that is me. But definitely want to give a shout out.
When I'm there, that's a fun thing.
It just threw me off the first time I heard it. Like we were in there, and of course, let me explain something. When you have 3 kids, granted, one of them is about to be my son. The other 2 are my nephews. When you take kids to a comic book store, it is a fun little fascination, by the way, because it's their first time going. They see figurines, they see toys, they see characters that they recognize. What do these 3 little kids do? Go straight to manga. They bypass everything.
Manga is just easier to get into because, comics, you got to beat that impenetrable code of where do you start. With manga, it's like, I'm going to get the book that's marked volume 1.
Oh, I kid you not. My about-to-be son when I tell you this, I was literally kind of proud. I'm not going to lie. He drafted over to Dragon Ball and he picked Vegeta. I had never been so proud because I was like, he likes Vegeta more than he likes Goku. I almost want to sit there and be like, I kind of wanted to have that little tear in the eye moment. I was like, it's his choice. It's his choice. I am not going to influence him in any way or form. It is his choice. But my nephew,
Sailor Moon.
The funny part is, there's a friend of ours. I wonder, when our future guest. So I have to ask Crystal that because I think she is a Sailor Moon fan. If memory serves me right.
Oh yeah.
So that's gonna be interesting.
No, Sailor Moon cannot beat Goku, but Vegeta can beat Sailor Moon only through Royal politics.
That's gonna start an argument somewhere. But
Probably. This is why I
but
don't say these things over in the UAL group, because I'm like one of the few dudes that are me in that group that they tolerate.
that's going to start an argument somewhere. But definitely shout out to Rick's Comic Book City. And also, if you aren't able to get to a comic book store, if you're not able to purchase comic books, understand, guys, you can still go to a library. Yes, libraries are still around in 2022. And for the price of $1 to get a library card, libraries do keep up with the most updated comics and mangas and animes for you to watch or read, or watch and read if you want to do both. So you can definitely check out your local library to actually get those things, because look, at this point, accept it, because who knows what is going to happen next in this world that they may go up to libraries next. Trust me, in a different setting, one that we're not going to talk about here, but trust me, books like that, I wouldn't be surprised if they're on somebody's hit list. So enjoy them while you can. That's all I'm saying. But that being said, Joe, do you want people to know about your schedule and what you'll be streaming this week?
Do what now?
You just zoned out, didn't you? You got the deer in headlights look.
I can go cross-eyed, I can. Yeah, it's more Mech Warrior on Mecha Monday. I'm going to try and stretch this out until March 22nd, because there's supposed to be a indie tactical mech game I've been looking into called Relayer. So hopefully
Mech
that'll
Warrior
be good.
Light?
Huh?
Mech Warrior Light?
No, I don't really know. It's like in the vein of Super Robo.
Okay. It sounds, I was going to say, why does that sound so familiar? But okay, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, so we're sticking around with Mech Warrior and whatnot. I'm close to end game with that game, plus the game time's out at the year 3050, because then all the infighting of the inner sphere doesn't matter, because then the clans invade. And depending on where I am, I don't know if I have to fight them or not, but I hope to God I'm over in the Merrick territory, because Ghost Bear just rolls on in with Merrick. It's like, we really don't want to fight. You just want to like share technology and be symbiotic. Whereas the Steiner territory, they got the Clan Jade Falcon. They deal with some Nazis.
Dang.
Like, it's our way of life. Or you can join the Warrior Cast, the Merchant Cast, or the Laborers. You don't get an option.
Dang. That's damn.
I'm just gonna go huddle down over in Merrick territory once 3049 comes up and take contracts.
That's when you'd be like, okay, we're good now. No.
I mean, I've gotten pretty far to where I'm actually starting to get heroic mechs,
Nice.
which are not like the biggest and baddest, but they have specialized armaments, abilities, or different weapon slots than a standard mech of that type. So, I mean, it's fun. I mean, I'm still rolling around in Battle Master just to infuriate one person, but
So there's a petty side.
God,
There's
yes.
a little
I'm
petty side.
completely vindictive on that one. I mean, it's the only thing I'll play if I'm around it is Battle Master.
Cool.
There
So
are over 100,000 mechs and variants. Take the Battle Master with 2 PVCs and 4 medium lasers.
So for those that don't know where your Twitch channel is, Joe, you gotta tell them where you can find them, dude.
Wednesdays, depending on what work is like, we will start up Horizon Zero Dawn 2 or Dino Girl and Pals. I don't know which one I'm going this one.
You're playing Forbidden West. You could say that, but let's be honest.
All right, we got the name. Dino Girl Goes to Vegas.
You wouldn't be wrong. You wouldn't be wrong at all.
Wait, does this mean I could actually use Viva Rock Vegas unironically?
Yes.
Excellent.
And I'll tell you why, and I can't tell you why. Yes and yes. And you'll find out.
At some point, we will pick up the further adventure of Shield Mom and Pals, but I'm super close to the end of that game, so that's going to be like one of those all-day streams when I don't go anywhere on the weekends. But Monday and Wednesday, we'll give it a shot. Thursday, we're bringing back Comic Box or whatever the crap we're going to call it. I have no idea. I got to talk to Shadow about naming that thing.
Nice.
You also got to talk to Caroline, see if she wants to join now that stuff's settled down with her.
Cool.
But Friday is this. Are we doing this next Friday because of Uncharted.
We can come back to Uncharted. I was just gonna. I mean, I was gonna go watch Uncharted tomorrow. So, I mean, I can. It can kind of be put to the wayside until everybody's seen it. It doesn't have to be immediate.
Oh, I'm not seeing it unless it's streaming. And Kelly says she's playing Injustice 2. Hopefully you're playing Green Lantern because that has a really, really damaging combo that doesn't require but one meter of bar.
I think I would say the last time she played Injustice 2, I think she was more. I think she was more toward Batman than Black Canary, Catwoman.
Who says Catwoman? Catwoman is also good.
Eh.
Chad Williams says yes. I don't know what yes to, but yay.
That's not saying. But again, you can find Joe on Twitch at Joe Italian last name, and therefore that's gonna be interesting because I can't wait to see what you think about The reason why I say that, and I know I'm kind of shaming as far as Horizon Forbidden West behind me. I really want to see till you get to a certain point, and I'm hoping you get to it to where I can talk to you about it. But
Green Lantern. He's saying yes to Green Lantern.
He says yes to everything. Don't.
Yes. Only if you play the Jon Stewart skin. Stay away from the Hal Jordan skin.
You're gonna lose that battle. But as we're wrapping up, guys, let me go ahead and do some shameless plugging. I do want to first and foremost shout out to the guys at Geek Salad, Ari and Geek present Geek Salad, for allowing us to share our podcast on their page. You can definitely find them on YouTube as well as Facebook. Of course, Ari and Geek present Geek Salad. They are guys that do everything from pop culture and outside of it from a unique and interesting perspective, but definitely unfiltered. Definitely do not bring your kids, but definitely worth watching. But definitely look at them, check them out, like, share, and subscribe to Geek Salad on YouTube and on Facebook. And also shout out to my buddy Big BZ down on Facebook. Hey, Big BZ down on socials. He will be coming back and podcasting next week. I can't wait to see what he comes up with since his little vacation. But you can definitely still find his show, Smoking Trailer Sundays, every Sunday from 6:30 to 9. And of course, the REF podcast every Tuesday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. But definitely check him out, Avon Westwood on Facebook or Big BZ on all socials. And of course, as for me, guys, you can find me on Blackbox447 on Instagram, as I do post a lot of things, movie reviews, video game reviews, sometimes gym stuff because I do a couple push-ups. Also, same time, I do like to encourage and motivate people because it is 2022. We've had enough negativity. It's time for some positivity and encouragement. That's what I hopefully try to do. The streaming link at the bottom, if you copy and paste that into your browser, will take you to our link tree that has the YouTube and Facebook groups for all of our podcasts, How the Fact We Got Here, Get Bit, and of course the Off Limits Podcast. Definitely like, share, and subscribe, and tell your friends about it. And yes, we'll have some future guests coming up. I cannot wait to have one of our good friends on here, hopefully next Saturday evening, if all things points out, that we'll have her on here. And of course, like I said before, having different guests with different perspectives is what me and Joe love the most. But with that being said, Joe, any last words for call tonight, sir?
I need to see if my thing's done downloading.
Well, this has been an hour and 30 minutes, so I'd have to assume unless Comcast has been kind to you.
Oh, we don't have Comcast. We have AT&T. So it's a 50-50.
Oh, yeah, you're a toss-up.
No, that just be good, be safe.
Yeah, and also, like I said, before we wrap this up, guys, again, speak on behalf of Joe and all healthcare professionals out there. Please get vaccinated. Please wear your mask. Please be safe out there because, again, he can tell you firsthand, it is definitely not COVID. It is definitely not the cozy up time to be around people. We definitely need to protect ourselves and each other and therefore get these numbers down and get people who need the life-saving treatment back in hospitals, those that have kidney dialysis, blood transfusions, and diabetic needs because they are getting pushed back, simply put, because of COVID beds taking up spots. Again, get your shots, get your boosters, wear a mask. Help us out. That's all we ask. So
we're already preparing for the next wave of COVID, Omicron, Beta 2, Electric Boogaloo.
I told you, Soundwave's coming. But with that being said, guys, he's been Joe. I've been Will. This has been the Git Bit Podcast for tonight. And if you're watching this on the playback, please comment if it's live. We still want to know what you guys thought about everything that we discussed so far. And yes, I will cover Uncharted after I go watch it tomorrow. And hopefully speak about it with our next guest next Saturday. All things event planning. Anyway, take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll all get through this, guys. Peace.
Later.